Back in 2010, I was lucky enough to go to the Sonor factory in Germany. It was part of their open weekend, the first ever open weekend that they'd ever had. And I got to go there as a guest of Sonor, which was even more cool. And basically sort of have a look around, take some photos, and then I did some pieces for MikeDolby.com as well. The year before, I think it was, I actually reviewed an SQ2 kit, and I remember, I think it was something like an 8, 10, 12 and maybe a 14, a 16, or maybe just a 16 kit in a local store, actually not too far from here. And it was on the shop floor. It was actually a hire kit, because they do hires as well, that place, but it was a hire kit, but it was on the shop floor anyway. And I remember it sort of hitting the toms and them sounding pretty cool. And Jeff Davenport, who is the certainly in the UK, the guy that's always goes around doing the Remo drum tuning workshops, he came along. He was actually the Sonor rep at the time, and he said, yes, it sounds great, but we can make it sound better in the way that Jeff does. And he proceeded to make an excellent drum kit, an excellent sounding drum kit, sound even better. And that was a very, very cool experience. First meeting Jeff, and still knowing Jeff now. But the kit was, I think it was something that I was very interested in, and I kind of one of those sort of maybe bucket list type kits that I developed a fondness for, sort of from that point. And I think I went home and maybe looked into sort of prices and things, and I kind of didn't have the cash at the time, and it just sort of remained a fantasy in the distance. But after I came back from the Sonor factory, I kind of felt I sort of revisited my my experience of both the SQ2 kit and the positive experience that I'd had in Germany, meeting all these wonderful people. I met the head of the company as well, and you know, very nice man. And I kind of almost felt compelled to sort of get some SQ2 drums, because they were so cool in my sort of eyes. And you know, obviously a lot of the big name guys were using them anyway. Gavin Harrison being one who was actually there at that weekend, Benny Greb being another one who was also there that weekend. And you know, it was one of those, as I said, it was kind of something that was on my sort of like fantasy list. And I think at that point, actually, money wise and everything, it became a little bit more viable. So I looked into it, I worked out some sizes, I worked out a price, and I put the order in. And I probably still got the email somewhere. I can't actually remember the specifics of the kit. I know they're birch shells, and I could tell you what the sizes are, but unfortunately I can't remember much more than that, which is pretty terrible given that I'm sitting here doing a video about my SQ2 kit. But anyway, the kit is in this finish. This is basically, it's an outer ply of Bubinger, and I can't remember how many plies of birch inside. As you can see, this is the 12-inch tom. It's still got the original sort of Sonor logo head on the bottom. I've never changed it out. Normally I would do this kind of video behind the kit, and indeed I actually did do a video whilst sat behind the kit, and it was only a couple of days later, whilst I was sitting to edit that video, that I realised that the whole thing was out of focus, because the camera had gone on autofocus and decided to focus on one of the microphones instead that happened to be to the side of the kit. So hence the reason I am now doing this again now, and apologies for the next part of the video, which will be slightly blurred, because basically after I did the video, I had to take all of the drums down, and the kit's all packed away and everything now. So in terms of the playing bit of the video, apologies in advance that it is slightly out of focus, but I did do some separate video just highlighting some of the sort of nicer bits of the kit anyway, which are completely in focus. I actually manually did all that. In terms of my SQ2, this is my SQ2. It's set up, basically the kit was set up as my normal regular sort of gigging configuration. So it's the 12, the 15 and the 20-inch kick drum with my Sonor Blanched Roots snare drum as well that was on it, the 14 I think by 5.5. The 8 and the 10, I got those because simply at the time I had the extra money to be able to afford them. I kind of wanted 8 and 10 just so I had them for sort of future reference, as it were. I very rarely play 8, 10, 12 up the front because it's a low kick drum, which is helpful, but I don't sit very high when I play, and to have basically the 3 drums up over the bass drum kind of puts things a little higher than I generally tend to sort of have things and enjoy. So for the most part I either use the 12, 15, or I will use the 10, the 8, 10 and then the 15 as well. And I've used that setup on a good few occasions. It's fun, it's different, and the thing is with these particular drums I've only got one other 8-inch tom, which is an 8 by I think it's by an 8x8 on my Premier XPK kit, and that's got a very sharp attack. It's kind of all sharp. It's kind of all attack and sort of not much else. Whereas I remember the first day I got these drums, I took them out of the boxes, which themselves were typical German engineering. They weren't sort of square boxes as you normally get. They were sort of hexagonal and grey with a nice lid on them, and you know, the Sonor logo and stuff all over it. Very, very typical German engineering. Very, very cool as well. It's the only drum kit I've ever had delivered in classy boxes. But I took the 8-inch tom out and I tuned it up just very slightly, hit it, and suddenly it started ringing. And I've never I don't spend a lot of time with 8-inch toms particularly. In fact, actually I have now got another 8-inch tom. I've just remembered I've got an acrylic 8-inch tom, and I will have to go and try this with that as well. But I remember taking that SQ2 tom out, I hit it with a stick and it rang, and I thought that was so cool to have an 8-inch tom that rings. It's not just all attack, it's actually got some body and some ring to it as well. So that was a very, very sort of cool experience for me on that day when I first got this kit. And I said I don't use the 8 and 10 very often, probably my shame. I'm sort of ashamed for me to admit, really, because they are such cool drums. But yeah, I normally, as you'll see, I actually normally use the 12 in a snare basket. I've never taken the mount off, simply because well, you know what, first of all, I'm not sure I could, and secondly, I'm not sure I'd want to try. But I very rarely ever use this in anything other than a snare basket. Works fine for me. But anyway, this is my SQ2 kit. Hopefully you'll hear when I play these drums, particularly on the odd occasion, I do have the 8, 10, the 12. I'm not saying I play anything like Gavin Harrison. Clearly, if you've seen this channel before, I can't. And but the thing is when I listen to his kit, I can hear my kit as well, and that's got to be a testament to how good these drums are. So thanks for watching. Sorry about the out of focus that's coming up, but normal service will be resumed. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.